Hi, I'm Alan Douglas. Welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to show you how to varnish a painting. In this case, it's the blue-throated Unihopper. Let's get started. So this is the blue-throated Unihopper. As you can see, there's some inconsistencies with the glossiness. Some portions are a little matte. So what you do to kind of give it an even coat is to apply a varnish after the painting is done. Now I did finish this one in oils, so you have to make sure that it's completely touch dry before you apply any varnish. In this case I'm going to be using a product called Gamvar. It's produced by Gamblin, and it's a synthetic varnish, and what it does is it allows any paint underneath to still breathe through the layers of varnish. The painting will essentially dry under the coat of varnish. And the beauty of using Gamvar and Gamblin's line of products is you can use Gamsol, which is Gamblin's odorless mineral spirits, and you can use this to remove the varnish. So that's happened to me in the past where I've wanted to rework a painting after I varnished it, and I was able to do so by using the Gamsol to remove the varnish layer and then just repainting back into it. So this is a very small painting, so I don't need a lot. So usually what I do is just put a little bit down on my palette. You want to use a very soft brush for this. And you also want to make sure that all dust particles and stuff get out of it before you start. And also just wipe your painting down a little to make sure any little imperfections are off of there before you even start. Then what I do is I just apply a very thin layer. This will take no time since the painting is so small. But you do have to look at the painting at an angle to make sure that you coat all parts. So there's different schools of thought. Some people think you should create all horizontal strokes and then all vertical strokes. I'm in the mindset of I don't want there to be any sort of uniform pattern, so I tend to just kind of do these little X marks over the whole thing. And if you do have some paper towels nearby too, so you can wipe off your brush if you have to. Even though I try to get all the dust out of the brush, there's inevitably still some in there. So also, if you do see something noticeable as you're going, lift it out with the brush and wipe it off onto your paper towel. Now it's better to do a couple thin layers as opposed to one thick layer. So this doesn't take very long to dry. It'll probably be dry in probably half hour at the most. So I will let that dry and then I will give it a second coat. So knowing I'm going to come back to it very soon, what I usually do is just seal my brush in an airtight bag to keep it from drying at all. And then when I come back to it in a half an hour, it'll still be nice and pliable and I'll be able to add that second coat. So it's only been about 20 minutes and already the first layer is dry. So I will give it a quick second thin layer of the varnish. And again, what this does is it provides a nice, even, glossy sheen to the original painting, which allows the darker values of the painting to kind of regain their strength, as well as make it easier to photograph so you don't have dull spots versus glossy spots and that sort of thing. Now, since it is a glossy varnish, you do run into the problem of getting a lot of specular highlights when you photograph the painting, and that I sometimes have to retouch in Photoshop. With the proper lighting setup, you can reduce that though with polarizing filters on both your lights and the camera itself. So hopefully you can get a sense of the evenness of the sheen now. So this is a very small painting. Obviously, you just scale it up. If you have a bigger painting, use more varnish. Still keep the thin coats, but usually 2 coats is enough to achieve the effect I'm looking for. Thanks for watching.